PJ Tucker is the active NBA player to officially debut the Nike GT Future. He wore a pair with a 3M reflective upper last April 8 against the Boston Celtics. While this is not the first time we've seen photos of the Nike GT Future on social media, it's the first time that the shoe has seen NBA action, in a way. Because unfortunately, the shoe didn't actually get to see on-court action. That's because PJ played 0 minutes during the game. He probably wore them during warm-ups, but that's the farthest the shoe has seen NBA action, which isn't surprising because the last time he checked in before the shoe's debut was last March 19 against the Spurs. He played for about 1 minute. But there's one guy who I think should be wearing the Nike GT Future at least beginning this NBA playoffs because he hasn't really worn a new Nike shoe, and more importantly, the timing and circumstances are just perfect. I'm talking about Karl-Anthony Towns. So let's have a quick conversation. But first, why is PJ Tucker even wearing the Nike GT Future? Honestly, I have no idea, but I think PJ has tons of sneaker connections, and of course, he has links with Nike, so it's not surprising if he got himself an early pair, which is a sample at that, way ahead of everyone else other than AJ DeBonsa and Wale, both of whom have been seen wearing pairs. But there's got to be more to expect from Nike because no other NBA player is wearing the shoe in actual NBA games. AJ DeBonsa is not an NBA player, at least not yet, and Wale is neither. But with the NBA playoffs about to begin, it's definitely high time for Nike to start giving the shoe its much needed NBA exposure prior to an official unveiling and release. Unless PJ Tucker gets playing time, Nike still has a lot of options. Nike has plenty of athletes in both the Eastern and Western conferences that will take part in the playoffs, but the one person I think would best fit the shoe is none other than Karl-Anthony Towns of the New York Knicks. Why Karl-Anthony Towns? First reason is that the Nike GT Future appears to be designed for the big man and not so much for the guard type players. That's because of the possible cushioning and the way the shoe is built with that upper material. The drop-in midsole could have full-length zoom, but if not, it should still be suitable for back-to-the-basket players that need solid impact protection. Meanwhile, the upper is one piece, most likely a posit material, which seems to be double lasted by all indications we have seen so far. That upper can definitely take a beating, which should be perfect for centers and power forwards that need all the support they could get. Second reason is that Cat has been wearing the Nike GT Jump 2 since the start of the NBA season. Prior to that, he has been wearing the Nike Hyper Dunk X for a long time. It's high time for Cat to be wearing a new silhouette, and the Nike GT Future is at the right place and at the right time. And there are a few other things why I think Nike should let Cat be the one to wear the GT Future, at least during this NBA playoffs. He began this season with a new team. After 9 seasons with the Wolves, he is now one of the key pieces of the Knicks. With the exception of OG Anunoby, who has been wearing Skechers lately, that entire Knicks squad is literally a Nike squad. Cat wearing the GT Future just makes sense from a roster perspective. And his stats this season with the Knicks hasn't been all that bad. In 72 games played, Cat has averaged 24.4 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 3.1 assists on 35 minutes of action per game. Not the best in the league, but certainly better than the court exposure that PJ Tucker can give. AJ DeBonsa is expected to be a top pick for the 2026 NBA draft, and of course, Nike sees him as one of its future stars, which is why at this early stage, he is already being groomed by having him wear Nike's latest, the GT Future, and it sits well with the idea of AJ being one of Nike's future stars in the NBA. But while Nike waits for AJ, Karl-Anthony Towns is there to fill in that much-needed spot for a Nike athlete to be the face of the Nike GT Future, at least in the short term, because highly likely that the shoe will release this year and playoffs exposure is much needed before the off-season begins. The timing is perfect for Nike and the same is true for Cat. It's a win for both, but let me know what you think.